Bonjour everyone, and welcome back to the Waves of Your Soul. I am your humble French tarot reader / deck goblin marine, and today we're gonna have a look at the newest tarot and oracle decks that have joined my tarot collection. We're just gonna have a chit chat between friends about my newest decks. Tarot, oracle, mass market, indie, there's a bit of everything, and you know I love those kinds of videos. I love them so much I've even made a whole playlist about them, which I leave in the card somewhere for those of you like me who enjoy these kinds of vids. I've made a playlist so it's gonna be easier for you to watch all of my previous ones, and if you're new here, hi, welcome. In the description box you will find all the names of the decks I'm mentioning today, just in case you're ever wondering what the heck is this French person talking about. It's in the description box. If I have time I put links, also put all of my other social media links. Mostly right now you can find me on YouTube and on Instagram. I share a lot on my stories I'm up to, what decks I'm using, what books I'm reading, all of that stuff. So if you want to hang out, that's where you'll find me, and you will also find other videos of mine you may want to check out. Without further ado, let's get into it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decks to talk about. Oh girl, your girl's been busy in October. There was a couple of pre-orders, and then there was some random Etsy purchases, and you'll see, I think this one is one of the most chaotic deck choice I've ever shown on my channel, and that feels appropriate for me, your friendly deck goblin. So you'll see we're probably gonna get whiplash with the difference in genre and the difference in aesthetics we're gonna get with these decks today, so make sure you're comfortable because I don't want you guys to get a neck injury. And without further ado, let's get into it. As per usual, I've got my little cup of tea. Today I'm drinking rooibos tea. I am like savoring every tea bag I brought back from South Africa. I freaking love rooibos tea, and yeah, it's so nice. So that's been my drink of choice lately. Whilst I'm, getting closer to tropical summer, it's still not too hot to enjoy a cup of tea, so I'm making the most of it for sure, because I know it won't last, and soon enough I will not be able to have any hot drinks without feeling like I'm melting like a snowman in the sun. So let's get into it. I'll start with the decks that I've had the longest since my deck haul. These two literally arrived maybe a day after I filmed my last ones. Technically I've had them for over a month and I've been using them and playing with them. I have the Silhouette Tarot. This is by Waite Studio, I think. It's the same people who did the Exile Tarot, who did the Monsoon Tarot, and I get mine on Etsy. They're called Vermillon Collection on Etsy. That's where I get all of my decks from these creators. They are really awesome decks. Every time I'm never disappointed. I've never seen anything like this, by the way. It's really unique. I'm not sure how durable it's gonna be, but I mean, I've been using this deck for a month or so, and so far so good, but we'll have to see how well it lasts. I'm worried about these, because I know with time they tend to cave in, but we shall see. Yeah, I got this on Vermillon Collection on Etsy, which is a shop I have definitely shopped before for quite a few decks. I have their Exile Tarot, I have their Monsoon Tarot, I have the latest one I've shared with you guys was the Broken Mirror Tarot. I mean, I really like all their stuff, if that's not apparent. And so the latest one I got was this one, so I'm really excited that it has arrived. It comes with a few extra cards. We have some extra oracle cards, conservation, hibernation. I don't really do extra cards anyway, that's not really my vibe. Here are the backs, and this is linen cardstock, so it's super flexible, super easy to shuffle. And the sides have this hollow effect, so really cool. And this is a deck I don't really see a lot of people talk about. I've never really seen it shared, and it had been on my wishlist for a while. And like I said, I'm quite familiar with these creators. I always felt attracted to this like shadow puppet type of artwork. I thought it was beautiful, and I really enjoyed as well the color coding of the suits, which you'll see each suit is in a certain type of color. But it took me a while to order, because at first I was worried that it was gonna be hard to read with because of, I don't know, the layers, the details and stuff. And then one day one of those Etsy browsing that you do when you're in bed and you're like, you really should not be doing that, but you do anyway. Just me? Okay. Well, one of my random nighttime Etsy browsing, I decided to order this, to give it a chance, and you know what? I am really not disappointed because it's gorgeous. So as you can see, every single card is really detailed in that shadow puppet style. It's giving me very like childlike effect. It makes me think of those puppet shows when I was a child. It makes me think of books, right? Origami. There's lots of different ways that my mind goes to when I see this, but it's definitely a very childlike deck in its energy. It feels very whimsical and very full of imagination, I would say. Your very whimsical energy. So I have actually been reading with this for a few people. I've even done a pick a card reading with this, which is my messages from your future self reading, which I don't know what video is going to come out first. I don't know if it's going to be this deck haul or if it's going to be the pick a card reading, but you can watch out for my messages from your future self reading. If it's out by the time the deck haul is out, I will make sure to link it. And I've used this as one of my options if you want to see how it reads, and it's been reading like a dream. Like I said, this is very whimsical, joyful, childlike. It's a very joyous deck, even though some cards could feel a little dark. And that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid that the more purple and dark blue card would be hard to read with and that they would be a little bit, yeah, dark and somber, but not at all. This is so joyous. This is so fun and very childlike. I mean, look at this Four of Swords with this toy that needs to be rewind, right? It's just really fun and whimsical. It feels like you're stepping into a dream world, right? And into a fairy tale as well. I think, you know, I love fairy tales. This is also giving me a little bit fairy tales vibe, even though it doesn't specifically refer fairy tales. It does give that very like magical land fairy tale energy. So yeah, I mean, look at this Five of Swords with this chef and the different forks. It's really great. It's really great, and I've been really enjoying it. And it's one I could see myself read with for other people very easily, because I don't think it's threatening at all. I think it's quite fun, and every time I've read with it for someone so far, they've really enjoyed it. I've showed it on Instagram and you guys seem to really enjoy it as well. Moving on, we have the other deck I've had the longest is the JK Tarot. So this is by Tarot Collectible, and as you're gonna see, I have quite a few decks from Tarot Collectibles that I've ordered recently. I've known of their stuff for ages because I've had the groovy Waite tarot that they do for, I don't know, 3 years now. I saw on Indiegogo that they were doing a campaign for this deck, and this is a re-edition of the JK Tarot that was originally printed, I believe, in the 70s. And you can see this is the original author. It's a Japanese artist who originally created this, and ever since then this deck was out of print. It was really hard to get, and it was just one of those that a lot of tarot collectors wanted, but that was impossible to get. Recently, Tarot Collectible decided to do a re-edition after obviously talking with the original creator first, and so, yeah, as you can see, yeah, 1975 it was originally published. So they got in touch with the original artist and with his daughter, I believe, and they agreed to re-imprint this to get this back out into the world, because this is a beautiful rendition of the RWS tarot, and it deserves to be owned by many people. So I'm really glad they brought this out. I'm really glad that they have really emphasize this artist's work, because it's super beautiful. So they were offering in the Indiegogo campaign 2 options. There was the revised edition, which they changed a little bit the coloring, and there was the original OG one. I got the OG one, not revised, not anything, because I wanted the thing closest possible to the original. So here are the backs. Classic but awesome. And so there you go. This is a rendition of the RWS, as you're gonna see, but obviously redrawn by this particular artist with his own colors and everything. And mostly the colors is why I wanted this deck. It's so beautiful. There's a lot of purples, a lot of pinks, and you know I'm an RWS girly. I love this system. It's a system that I feel super comfortable with. It's the one I always go back to when I need a comfort blanket, right? When I want readings that are easy, fluid, where I don't have to worry about what it is trying to tell me. I go to a version of the RWS, not really the RWS. I like my RWS to be a bit different, to be either a bit modern or to have a theme. But this one, it's like, it's the coloring and it's the revision that makes this really awesome. I mean, look at this purple sky behind the magician. It's so gorgeous. So I really I'm so happy with this one. It's quickly becoming one of my new favorite RWS. I love this one so much, and I'm also really adoring the Moon Baby Tarot, which is a reprinting of the Hoi Polloi tarot from also the 70s. So I guess I have a special affinity with decks from the 70s because other decks that I love that are RWS adjacent are the Aquarian Tarot. That's one of my go-tos when I want something very classic in RWS. I freaking love the Aquarian Tarot. I love the Cosmic Tarot. All of those decks. I love the Morgan's Tarot. All of those decks are like 70s, 80s. And so is this one, and so is the Moon Baby. So I guess I have an affinity with this era, and definitely the decks that were printed in this era are just awesome. I mean, look at this pink Page of Cups. He's so cute. So yeah, this is classic RWS, although I think the drawings are beautiful and the colors are just absolutely stunning. So I'm so happy that Tarot Collectibles have managed to get in touch with the Japanese creator and his daughter and to get this art back into the world, because this is just so beautiful to be left out of print, right? This deserves to be in people's hands, to be used, to be loved. And like I said, this is quickly becoming a favorite RWS for me. I just freaking love this. Look at this Queen of Wands with the background. Is so stunning. So this is another deck I've used in my Messages from Your Future Self pick a card that's coming either just before or just after this deck haul video. So again, if you want to see how it reads, I encourage you to check that out. You know, shameless plug. But there you go. Freaking love this deck. I'm so glad that it's back out into the world, and this spurred a tarot collectible frenzy, like I said, because I have other tarot collectible decks to share with you now. So the Indiegogo campaign was super smooth. The deck arrived really fast, and I think they're selling this on their website now, so you can still get this on their website. And because the Indiegogo campaign was so fast, and because I love this so much, and because I have and love their groovy Waite, which, let me grab it. I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but I've had this deck for years now from Tarot Collectibles, and I freaking love it. Here are the backs. It's very groovy, as the name suggests, a rendition of the RWS, another one I freaking love when I want something very comforting and very colorful and joyful. I've had this deck for years, and then I got the JK Tarot. Everything went so smoothly that I was like, you know what, I really need to check out what they've done, because I hadn't really been on their website for a bit, and I went ham. So I ordered 2 decks first, and then actually in November I went back and ordered another deck of theirs, so I don't have that to share with you yet. That'll come in my next haul. The ones I got this month were the Halloween Waite and the Winter Waite. So let's talk about the Halloween Waite first, which I've had since I think end of September now. I have definitely been using this to death in October. As you can see, the box is already screaming a little bit because this is already a deck I've been using non-stop all months of October. So here are the back, and as the name suggests, Halloween Waite. This is a Halloween themed tarot. So as always with Tarot Collectibles, at least their own decks, not with the JK Tarot obviously, because that's something they've reprinted from someone else's work, but with the stuff that they create, you always get extra cards, which is so cool. You get to choose the ones that speak to you the most, and usually you get 2 options. You get a glitter version, which I'll show you, or like I think they call it the starry version, which I've gotten for the winter one. I'll share with you after. Or you can get the normal version, which is what this looks like, so no added layer or anything. This I've had pretty much all months of October, and that's pretty much the only deck I've been using in October. I've done reading for others with this. I have read for myself almost every day with this, and I am freaking obsessed. This has quickly become my favorite Halloween themed deck. I freaking love this. I mean, you have Pentacle, you have pumpkins for Pentacle, you have so many different kind of costumes. It's fun, it's lighthearted, it's colorful, it's smart, it's so cool. And I've seen that they are crowdfunding right now at the time of me filming this, so like early November-ish. They are crowdfunding for another Halloween theme deck, which I can't remember what they've called, but it's also on Indiegogo. I'm not gonna back it because I don't need another deck themed on Halloween. I like this is everything. And actually I was thinking that there might be a couple of other decks now that I need to let go of, because this has just surpassed them. I feel like this has taken over as my official now favorite Halloween theme deck. I mean, look at this. It's so cool. It's campy, it's fun, it's clear. I think this would be so cool to read for like if you're going to a Halloween party, or if you're going for like a fair or Halloween fair or something. I mean, look at this Knight of Swords, it's so cool. Yeah, I freaking love this deck. So I've definitely read with it a lot. So even though it's in a hole and technically it's new, it doesn't feel new because I've read it all month long. So I feel like I already know this really well. And it's just really fun. I mean, look at this Knight of Wands with the two little ghosties in the back. Beautiful. So yeah, like I said, they are releasing or funding for a new Halloween deck. So if you like this one, you might want to check out their newest one. I don't know once the other one is funded which one they'll keep, whether they'll keep this one or whether they'll keep the new version. Oh, see, we had two full cards. Actually, I need to remove the clown one because that freaks me out. I don't like clowns. So that's good we landed on it. Look at this Page of Wands. It's one of my significator and it has a little doggo. So come on. This is just too cute. I freaking love that. And then because you know I'm extra, like extra, I didn't just get one deck from them. I got two. So I also got this one. So this one they gave me a bag for, which is cute. And this is the Winter Waite Tarot, and this is the Stars edition. It's the Winter Waite Redux. So they've got two different kind of winter themed deck. The Redux one, and I think the other one is called Santa's Helpers. I chose the Redux one because I wanted something wintry but not too Christmassy, and the Santa's Helpers edition is really Christmassy. Again, you get a couple of extra cards. And this time, as you're gonna see, I've chosen the Stars, what they call the Stars edition. That's when they do some kind of like added layer. Today is really like gray where I am. So you might not see it as well as you normally can, but there is definitely an effect of like stars on top. And I decided to try and go for this one, for this particular edition, because I thought the layers of sparkle with the snow themed would look really cute. And I was right, this looks beautiful, especially in direct sunlight, which, like I said, today not the best day to show you guys, but if I remember, I'll take a little extra clip closer to the window so you can see. So as the name suggests, the Winter Waite, this is an RWS, but set in winter. And I know some of you guys are gonna think, why the F would you want a snow-themed, wintry themed deck when you live on a tropical island? I would tell you that's exactly why. Because I live on a tropical island, I don't get any snow. When you guys are having all the snow and, you know, snowman fun and like Christmas fun in December, it's summer for me and it's super hot and sweaty. And even when it's winter for us, it's still really hot. And sometimes I really miss the snow, especially because all of my family on my mom's side, they are from the Alps. So I grew up in a snow-themed environment. My grandmother's house was literally next to the slopes at a ski station. My granddad worked at a ski station. My uncle worked at a ski station. My mother was a ski teacher. So I have snow in my DNA, even though right now I live on a tropical island, and sometimes I really miss that aspect. So I wanted to live my fantasy through a little deck that would allow me to tap into the snow, wintry, mountain vibes when I felt nostalgic. And so this is literally why I got this deck, because sometimes I want to pretend like I can go back to my childhood, being at my grandmother's house next to the ski slopes, and, you know, just going sledging down the hills and building snowmen. It's really fond memories I have. Plus, it's so cute. And like I said, getting two decks wasn't more expensive shipping wise than getting one. So I went for it. I'm definitely gonna be using that in December. You can see it's still in order because for me, I'll be using it in December. And as you can see, 3 decks from Chaotic Collectible in this haul. I went a bit ham. I really enjoy their stuff and I loved it so much that I've even ordered another one of their decks, which has been recently released. Whereas, but that hasn't come yet, so I'll share with you that one in a future haul. But I'm just really happy. I really enjoy their stuff. Like I said, it's RWS, so for me it feels very comforting. Now, I am tempted to get the spring Waite because again, it's like butterflies and colorful and cute, but I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to have talks with myself that I don't need all of them, but at the same time it does look really pretty. So let me know, you guys, if you have the spring Waite, if you enjoy it, should I get it? Help a girl out. Okay, one mass market deck I want to chat with you guys about. The only mass market deck, all the other ones, if I haven't said, it's indie. So Tarot Collectible, they are indie. They're based in the UK. Yeah, all the other ones I'm going to share with you today are indie, but this is the only mass market one we have. The Supernova Tarot. Ooh, this is so cool, you guys. I've been eyeing this one out since it came out. I did a little order on Rare Waves, which is where I get my mass market English decks now. It's awesome. The international shipping is not that expensive, and if like me you don't get Amazon where you live, you might see that Rare Waves ships where you are, because it's become my new go-to place for mass market decks. I'll make sure to leave a link for it down below. I'm not sponsored or anything, just sharing for my fellow deck goblins out there who are struggling to get English mass market decks ever since Book Depository closed out. Here is the box. It's a Los Scarabeo deck. You know, one of those that opens with a 2-piece box. We have a little guidebook. I've not even read the guidebook on this one, actually. I need to do that, because you know me, normally I read all the guidebooks just to get an idea. I'm not gonna lie, I've not read this one because I was so charmed by the look of it. I was just so enchanted by the deck that, yeah, I just jumped straight in and started reading with it without even paying attention to the guidebook. Here are the backs, which I freaking love, and this is quite new. I mean, I think it came out potentially June or July this year, and I ordered it when it came out, but it took a while to arrive. As per usual, we're used to it by now. This is by, did I give you the name? It's Federico Salis is a creator, and I freaking love their art style. I mean, as soon as I saw a couple of images of this, I was hooked. I knew I wanted to order it. A few of my friends actually sent me the link and were like, Marine, this is so you. I mean, look at this. It's giving drag queens, so you know it's so me. I just love it, and they weren't wrong. This is really, really my vibe. It's giving pulp tarot a little bit, but more campy. And the campier the better in my book. This is fierce, it's badass. I think if this deck was an element, it would be fire. It's so unapologetic. It has a point of view. It feels a little bit Jean-Paul Gaultier. It feels a little bit, yeah, campy and gay and fun and gorgeous. And it's just like a celebration of life. There's something so attractive to me about this artwork, and I've read with this already for a couple of my friends, and they freaking loved it, and actually paired it with my Drag Race tarot that I have, and they're best friends somehow. I mean, look at this Elvis King of Wands. So fun. This feels super campy. I don't know if the intention was to be campy, but to me it reads campy, and I love that. I think it has a point of view. It's beautiful, and it's mass market, you guys. Blue Scarabeo, I mean, what's not to love? I could see myself read with this for anyone, really. I think it's awesome. I think they've had some great strong choices. The High Priestess is smoking cigarettes. I don't know if we've passed her, but she's a strong favorite. We have La Llorona for the Eight of Swords, or at least that's what it's giving me anyway, so I think that's beautiful. Look, this chariot is so cool. You have some astrological associations on the majors. The fashion in this deck is next level. I want all the hats, I want all the shoes, I want all the different cool outfits. Look at this King of Cups. It looks like some kind of reinvention of Louis XIV. I'm just, yeah, this is gorgeous. It's super cool. So I'm definitely going to be using this one for you guys for a future pick a card reading, because like I said, I've used it for myself and for friends already, and it reads like a dream. And I don't see a lot of people talk about this one, which I am quite shocked by, because I mean, look at this. This is so cool. Look at this Three of Cups. It feels very fashionable, but also classic in a way. It's like a mix between modern and yet completely timeless. I don't know why. but super cool. Yeah, I just love the shoes. This is a good mood deck for sure. If I do a 2024 edition of my good mood decks video, you can bet you're gonna see this one because it's just so joyous. Even the box is super fun. I just love everything about this. I, in the month of October, did an order to Salon des Arcanes, which is an indie tarot shop based in France. I will leave the link down below. I'm not sponsored again. This is just a place I really love shopping from. Nicolas, who owns the shop, has a selection of really cool decks. He stores indie decks, mass market decks. He gets a lot of like the new Kickstarter stuff as well, and there's just a lot of selection. So really every year I put like a couple of orders, and so this year I made the order mostly for this one, which was the Botan tarot, which I really wanted. And when I saw that it was stocking the reprint, I jumped on it. And I also got this one, the Anima Mundi, which I had been wanting for ages and which I finally decided to pick up at the same time because, again, shipping prices, it made sense. I know it's girl math. I know it doesn't actually come that cheaper. Obviously it doesn't, right? Buying 2 decks is not cheaper than buying 1 deck. But in my girl math ways, with the shipping cost, it's cheaper, okay? And don't try and be logical with me. You can't convince me otherwise. Let me live in my delusional fantasy. So this is a 2nd edition and it's a reprint. Originally, the Botan tarot came in one of those boxes that would come out here and it had a ribbon and everything. But the 1st edition went out of print very quickly and then it was super hard to get. So I definitely had missed out on the 1st edition. Here are the backs, by the way, which honestly, some of the most beautiful backs of tarot decks ever. Like, hands down, just so gorgeous. Everyone who has this deck says the same, but that's because it's true. It's beautiful. And on this edition, the sides are this, like, marine blue edge. So gorgeous. Botan tarot had been out of print for a really long time. I had missed the 1st edition and then it was just crazy prices, so I wasn't gonna be paying like $300 for a deck. But when I saw that they were reprinting it and I saw that Nicolas at Salon des Arcanes was gonna stock it, it was a no-brainer. I put in my order straight away because I had been wanting this deck ever since it was, you know, first released into the world. I think a lot of you will be familiar with this one. It is a watercolor deck. It's of Japanese inspiration. I mean, this artist is incredibly talented. The guidebook, while I'm at it, I should share with you. Quite simple. You get upward and reversed meanings for the minors and the majors, so nothing too special, but you do get a full color of the representation of the card. I believe at some point there might have been an extra guidebook with the 1st edition. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. You can tell me in the comments if that's true or not. I feel like I remember that, but again, I've never had it, so I could be making shit up. But I feel like there was another guidebook. Honestly though, you can read with this perfectly as it comes because you do get upward reverse meaning with this deck and it's super intuitive. I mean, if you're familiar with the RWS system, this is a little pippish but very lightly and it's absolutely stunning. I mean, there's something so soothing and calm about this art style, about this deck. It gives a very gentle energy. Like from the readings I've done already, it feels like it whispers, it doesn't shout. The deck I was just sharing with you, the Supernova Tarot, felt very in your face and bold, right? And so we're doing reading with that. Feels very vibrant. This is a complete different energy. This one whispers. It's like a cozy blanket. It's like sitting by a river and watching the water pass by. It gives that harmonious, peaceful vibe of lying down below a tree and seeing the leaves rustle in the wind. This is what this deck gives me energy-wise. Very soothing, very temperance-like, I think. If I could describe this deck energy, it would be a temperance deck. Very much so. Yeah, definitely one of the most beautiful decks in my collection. I freaking love the wand suit because it's a lot of foxes and I love foxes. I love the coin suit as well. There's particularly one card that I adore with the 3 of coins. I don't know if we've passed it already. It's gonna be at the end, isn't it? Of course it is. There you go. 3 of coins. I just freaking love this card so much. There's something so enchanting about this little monkey being held by the little deer. I can't. Too cute. Look at this star card. It's so beautiful. So yeah, this is really stunning. I mean, this devil so handsome. Like, no wonder he's a devil. The court cards are really fascinating. For the swords you have birds, for the cups you have like fishes and dragons, I think. For the wands you have foxes, and for the coins you have like monkeys and rabbits, things like that. Even the choice of animal makes sense depending on the different suit and elements. As you can see, King of Swords, a lot of feathers, a lot of like related to birds and air. Again, Page of Swords, we have feathers, whereas the Queen of Coins, as you can see, has little bunny ears, I think. So it's adorable. It's like little details like this that feels very gentle, beautiful, kind. I don't know, I just freaking love this. And those little creatures I'm obsessed with. Just so cool. So yeah, I really am blown away by how beautiful this is. I'm so glad they've decided to reprint it, because again, a lot of people deserve this in the world. The world is a harsh place sometimes. It sometimes makes us feel like it can be easy to despair, but when you see that people can create beauty like this, you're like, oh yeah, the world is actually beautiful. Because there's people out there who can create such beauty that it reminds you that we're lucky to be here. So the second deck I ordered from the Salon des Arcanes is the Anima Mundi Tarot. This is the name of the creator. I won't even try to pronounce it because it's gonna be a disaster. But this is a deck that a lot of you guys will be familiar with. I am one of the last people to get this deck because I feel like this deck has been out for years. Maybe 2019 was the first printing. I feel like it's been at least 2019, maybe 2020. I don't know. Feels like a long time. In my mind, I think of this as one of the first indie decks that really got popular, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not that old, I don't know. Regardless of when this came out, this is definitely a very popular deck in the community, and for good reason. So here are the backs, and the sides are gold edge, which we know is going to last 2 seconds. Let's be real. I know in 2 days that's going to chip, but that's okay. This, as the name suggests, is an animal deck, and like I was saying, I feel like I'm one of the last people to get this. This is a very popular deck in the community. It's one of those indie decks that is well beloved, and for good reason. It's absolutely stunning, and I've always wanted this ever since it came out, but every time I've tried to get this, something didn't work out. Like either the shop wasn't shipping to Reunion, or there was some postage problem, and then it was sold out. It was like never working out until this year when I was about to order the Botan tarot from Salon des Arcanes. I saw that Nicolas was stocking it, that he had it in stock, and I jumped on the opportunity to finally get my hands on it because it had been on my wish list for years. I mean, we have a humpback whale for the Queen of Cups, which, you know, if there's a humpback whale on a deck, I can't help myself. I'm already like, take my money. I have no longer any control over my actions. It's one of those animals I freaking love. If there's a chameleon, if there is a humpback whale, I can't stop myself. So this is definitely one of those cards that made me want the deck originally. This 10 of Cups also giving me very home vibe. I mean, there's a lot of it that feels like I can relate to with my environment, even though there's also a lot of it that doesn't feel quite like where I live at all. This, I think, if I had to choose a card to summarize this, it would be a world deck, because I think whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, you could relate to this. It doesn't really matter, because there's a bit of everything. We have different kinds of animals, not just from the northern hemisphere. We have animals from the ocean, we have animals from land, we have birds. There's definitely a good mix, and this feels like a world deck. Yeah, animals from different continents. We have some landscapes. It's beautiful. It's not a pip deck, but it is pip adjacent, I will say. And I said that in another video where I was talking about this deck, but this feels very like pagan otherworld, but replace the humans with the animals. If you're familiar with that deck, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. The cardstock on this one feels linen. I don't know if it is, but that's what it reminds me of. I think it might be, which I had no idea it was going to be, but that means it's easy to shuffle, so we love that. And more beautiful in real life than on images, if that's possible. And look, the world card is stunning, and it really represents this deck well. Really, really beautiful. I love me an animal deck. I love nature decks. I'm quite particular about them, because if they are too specific to the northern hemisphere, for example, I cannot relate to them so much because of my environment. But this one, because it has a really good balance of animals, and because it's not just animals but also landscape, It feels really, really easy to connect with. Let me know if you guys have this deck. I know a lot of you do. I know it's very popular, so I'd love to know if you have it, if you enjoy it. This is definitely gonna be appearing in a future pick a card. I need to read with this for you guys. I've read with this for myself already, but I'm gonna continue using it in November, because in October, you know, I was mostly using spooky decks. So now it's November, I want to get to know this better. I have 2 more decks to share with you guys, and remember at the beginning of the video I told you you're gonna get whiplash. The difference of aesthetic from the decks I'm gonna share with you today. Be careful to not get whiplash, because we're going from one extreme to the next, and it might be a little bit troubling. Well, my last 2 decks I'm gonna share with you are a perfect example of that, because we have potentially one of the cutest deck I own now, and that is the Animal and Food Tarot, and potentially one of the more spooky looking deck I own now, which is a Memento Mori. And whatever fits between these 2 extreme ends of the spectrum is where my deck goblin tastes lie. When I say I'm a chaotic deck goblin, I really mean it, because this is just, it's chaos, you guys, but what can I say? I freaking love them. Let's talk about the Memento Mori. This is a deck by Claire Goodchild, or Black in the Moon. This is an indie deck. Finally this year I decided to pull the trigger. I actually ordered this months ago because I knew it was going to take a long time to come, so I could be sure that it would arrive in time for spooky season. This actually arrived the day before Samhain, literally the day before Samhain. So talk about divine timing. Took months to come and literally arrived the day before Samhain. Perfect timing, because I wanted to use it for ancestral reading around that liminal time, and it arrived just on time. I really believe that the universe has some influence over my mailbox, because I always seem to receive my decks in divine timing, even when they take months to come. So here are the back. And if you're not familiar with the Memento Mori Oracle, even though I feel like this is a very, again, beloved and well-known deck in the community, I'm probably one of the last people to get this, but if you've never seen it before, this is a Lenormand and Oracle hybrid, and it has over 80 cards, which I love. I freaking love a large oracle deck. They are my jam. This is so great, because with that many amount of cards you can actually forgo tarot if you wanted to and do a full reading with just the oracle, which is so cool. So Claire Goodchild's decks are very easily recognizable, because she has this unique art style, this unique aesthetic of using like those kind of botanical illustration mixed with anatomical engravings. It is giving Victorian inspiration, it's giving older books around anatomy and medical records paired with those beautiful botanical engravings. It's just really, really stunning. It starts with the Lenormand, so you'd have all the Lenormand cards like the clover, the fox, etc. But it also has a lot of added cards to make this a fully fledged oracle deck. This is giving absolutely Cabinet of Curiosity, it's giving Apothecary. It's so cool. Makes me feel like I'm in London in the Victorian era, and I'm gonna join some occult group who try and talk with the dead. I wanted to use this for ancestral reading, which I did, and it blew me away how clear this was, how impactful this was. I didn't even use tarot for my readings, I just used this, and it was so clear, so fluid. I felt like the connection was really strong. I mean, obviously this is a liminal time, so it's easier to make a connection with your past loved one, but this deck just really wanted to talk. It felt awesome. I will never forget the reading I done at that time, and what a beautiful reading to start using this deck with. So it really helped me bonding with this deck, having such an awesome reading with it. And I've been using it as a predictive type oracle deck ever since, for the last couple of weeks, looking at week ahead readings, that kind of stuff, and this works really well for predictive reading as well. So originally I thought I would only use it for ancestral reading, but now I'm realizing for predictive reading, oh, this is so great. And if you have watched my channel before, you might know that I love me a predictive oracle deck. I even made a whole video about that. I'll make sure to leave it in the cards. My favorite ones always have a lot of cards. That's what I prefer, and this is just, I feel like it's going to become a workhorse for me for my months ahead, week ahead type reading. Another one I really need to use for you guys. It's so clear, because it doesn't come with a huge guidebook, but it comes with a little leaflet, and each card has a few keywords. I've looked at it, I really think this is enough, because this is so intuitive that it's good that you have the guidebook to refer, but honestly you will quickly make your own meanings, I think, from this. The way I've read this is very intuitively. Really glad I finally took the plunge. I can see myself working with this a lot, like I was saying, especially for predictive readings. Just super cool. Let's wrap it up because I've talked for so long. My newest cute addition to my collection. I've only had this for not even a week, so I think this is my most recent deck. And this was a complete random Etsy purchase. I know, another one, and I'll explain to you why I found this deck. So this is the Animal and Food Tarot. This is by Maruko, and I found this on Etsy because there's a deck that's been going around called the Gourmet Tarot, which was very limited printing, and it was a food deck. And I missed it. I missed the Kickstarter. I missed it when people were stocking it. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I missed it. And then I started seeing people sharing different walkthroughs of it, and I was like, oh man, I love the idea of a food tarot. Like, it looked so cute. I have my moon in Taurus, so food is the way to my heart. I don't get angry, I get hangry, which is like hungry angry. Like, if you don't feed me, I will punch you in the face. I can't cope. And honestly, a good snack is my way to get through any life minor inconvenience. So I love food. I'm a Taurus moon through and through. So when I saw the Gourmet Tarot everywhere, it looked so cute. It had this kind of like Asian inspiration. I was like, man, I wish I didn't miss it. So I went on Etsy one night, as you do, and I typed in Etsy food tarot, like thinking, okay, maybe I missed the Gourmet Tarot, but maybe there's other food decks out there, because I hadn't really never looked for them, right? And when I typed food tarot on Etsy, this came up, and I hadn't ever seen it before, but it was called Animal and Food Tarot, and I saw the box, which was adorable, and then I saw a couple of images on the Etsy listing, and I was like, yes, add to cart. So I bought this kind of sight unseen, which I don't do often. As you guys know, normally I like to watch reviews and stuff. This one I really didn't. I was like a spur of the moment listening to my Taurus moon. But you know what? I have zero regrets. Let's get over the boring stuff first. As you could see, it came in a 2-piece box like this. No thumb cuts though, which is a pain. Sometimes it's hard to open. It came with a couple of extra cards. You had another option for the Empress and another option for the Chariot, and it comes with a little guidebook. There you go. And this only has the major arcana and a couple of the minors, but not all of them. So this guidebook, it doesn't really cover the whole deck, just the majors and then some of the minors, like their favorite ones, because I actually read this, and yeah, only covers some of the minors, but this is very RWSE, so I don't mind. I mean, I still had a look to see what it had to say, but it's very, very easy to read with, you'll see. In terms of the size of the deck, it's slightly longer and thinner, that's what she said, but and it has on all of the cards some gold layers, like gold inlays, I think you call it. I don't know, you guys, I'm not a cardstock snob. I don't really know like GSM and whatever, core, blah blah blah, I don't care, but you can see it's got some golden accent. So, as the name suggests, the Food and Animal Tarot, this is a deck about cute food and cute animals. And I literally bought this sight unseen. I had missed out the Gourmet Tarot. I was feeling bummed that I had missed it. I went on Etsy, typed food tarot, see if there was any other cute ones, found this, saw 2 cards, and was like, yes, add to cart. And that's it. It was completely spur of the moment. It was completely spontaneous. And oh my goodness, am I so glad I went for it. I mean, this is adorable. I've already read with this for a friend, actually. Yesterday I did a year ahead reading for her. So really long reading, like an hour. And it was really cool and really managed to go in depth. And you know, sometimes we're like, oh, can cute decks really give the messages? Yes, they can. It doesn't matter, right? If it's cute or not cute, if the messages need to come through, they will. And this was so great, even touching on more serious work stuff and whatever. It was perfect. It gave the messages in a fun, compassionate, kind way, but also very encouraging. And my friend absolutely loved it, and I did as well. It was so fun to use this, to be able to use this for her, and I'm just super enchanted. I had never seen this deck before. I'm sure there's other people who have it because the Etsy listing had good comments, but I'd never seen it before, and yet I know so many of you would enjoy it. I mean, look at this full card, literally on this tower of pancakes. The only problem of this deck is that it will make you hungry. So like like yesterday when I was doing my French reading, I was like, my god, I would really love a little treat right now, you know, a little pastry. I've got a big sweet tooth, so that's probably the problem with me using this kind of deck, is that I know it's gonna make me hungry. But I mean, look at this little otter baker who's dropped the baguettes in the cake as the Three of Swords. Yes, just so cute. So that's what I love about this deck. It's literally adorable food, adorable animals, but the meanings are still there. Like Four of Swords, we have this adorable corgi. I mean, come on, a corgi? Are you kidding me? I freaking love a corgi. And he's just eaten so much he needs to chill and lie and rest. Perfect for the Four of Swords. The pentacles are donuts. Absolutely adorable. The cups are little drinks, little cups. And the ones are lollipops, I think. Popsicles. It's just so cute. I can't. I mean, look at this. Yeah, this is everything. This is everything. It's still very loyal to tarot. Like, you can read this as a tarot deck. It has all the things you need. You know, the magician has all the 4 elements. It showcases all the elements you need. It's very loyal to the traditional RWS, but on top of that, it is so cute. I mean, look, the sun with the egg yolk. Ooh, so cute. I can't. Yeah, the Eight of Swords with this little bunny who got mixed up in... I can't. Look at this chipmunk. I can't. I mean, I'm just waffling now. You guys don't even need my commentary. This is too cute. The only thing, like I said, which is annoying, is that the guidebook only gives major meanings and only a few of the minors. So if you are a beginner, you're gonna need another tarot book with this. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard to understand. But if you're familiar with tarot already, then you will have no problem reading with this. It's so cute. Another one that you can be sure I will be sharing with you guys in a future pick a card, because I can't be keeping this cuteness for myself. I need to share this. So my friends, this is it. These were all of my new tarot and oracle decks. Some of them new-ish. I mean, I've had them for over a month and I've been using them for a few weeks already, and some of them super new and just first impressions. But I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I hope it was fun. And now it's your time. Leave a comment. Let me know what are the newest decks you've been enjoying. If you have any of the decks I've shared with you today, let me know. If you like any of them, whatever you want to share in the comments. I love to chat with you guys. It's always a joy. Until my next video, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!